Members of the Stanford Library's DLSS engineering and design team just wrapped up two back-to-back work cycles to develop and release a beta version of Archival Collections at Stanford, which is the Stanford Library's instance of ArcLight for our special collections repositories. The team consisted of three developers, Corey Lown, who is in the role of tech lead, Marlo Longley, and Steve Taylor, a UX designer, Astrid Usong, and a product owner, Dinah Handel. The two work cycles shared a common set of goals: to update the user interface and apply Stanford Library's specific branding and design principles across the entire application, to create the production stage and demo environments and load collection data into those environments from the appropriate sources, to implement various application functionality requested by archivists, to ensure accessibility compliance across the application, and to commit any useful changes to ArcLight Core in benefit of the user community at large. These two work cycles have culminated in the public release of a beta version of Archival Collections at Stanford, located at archives.stanford.edu.
The public beta of Archival Collections at Stanford is available at archives.stanford.edu and contains finding aids from 6 different archival repositories. The Archive of Recorded Sound, Cubberley Education Library, and East Asia Library contain finding aids from ArchivesSpace and are updated daily with new and changed finding aids. The beta application also contains finding aids from divisions of the Department of Special Collections and University Archives. These repositories are manuscripts, rare books, and university archives. The source for these repositories is the Online Archive of California, and we will be updating this data quarterly. In addition to the public beta, we have 2 other environments set up to help with data review and remediation. A focus of this work cycle was to update the design of the application. The landing page has a prominent search box, as well as links to browse collections and repositories. We highlight a few images from the collection on the landing page, as well as provide information about library hours, how to request material, and how to contact a librarian. Like many of the library's applications, each page of the Archival Collections at Stanford site contains in the header a form to submit feedback to us about the site. Each page of the application also includes a prominent banner explaining that the site is a beta and directing researchers to the Online Archive of California for the most up-to-date finding aids and for requesting material. The repositories page provides a way to browse each repository separately. During this work cycle, we made changes to the layout and design of the repositories page, arranging the repositories in a grid. We also updated the image and description of each repository.
So Astrid, the designer on this project, totally redesigned the collection and component views for Stanford ArcLight. It's a vast improvement and we all love the new design. The first thing I'll point out is the collection sidebar, which is now a sticky sidebar. You can see as I scroll down, the sidebar hits the top of the browser and remains in place, with the collection navigator always present and not scrolled past in the case of long content in the main area. It's a lot easier for users to stay oriented within the collection. The next thing I'll point out here is the URL bar up top. You can see that the URL has some semantic meaning related to the collection content, rather than displaying only some alphanumeric identifier. A couple other things to note about the collection area. We improved the design for using these materials, which is the section right here, and we now include it on each page, pages for the top level collection and for components within a collection. We also added some information that's related to the fact that this beta release of Stanford ArcLight is running off of data that still needs future remediation. We're pulling data in from multiple sources. So at the bottom of each main collection section, there's a data source information area. This helps developers and archivists follow the data pipeline to different staging and production environments of Stanford ArcLight. Basically, this gives us better insight into the source data for what we're looking at on any given page, and therefore where we would need to make any changes that are necessary. So next, I want to point out this digital content badge at the top level of the collection. This is an improved design for communicating that the collection has media that is viewable online. If you click the link here, it takes you to a search of the collection in question with that filter applied for digital content. It's similar to a facet search, but we've laid out the design differently. You can see a facet-like parameter applied here on the left side, and then also the icons in the search result indicate digital content. If you click out of this filter being applied, you just get all search results within the collection, regardless of digital content. So while we're in this search area, there's one last feature I want to highlight. We noticed in past versions of the app, searching by collection identifier wasn't performing properly. So to take this Dorothy Federman collection as an example, the collection ID was M2441. If we search for it here, we do get the proper collection returned in the results. And if we alter the format of the ID, such as adding a hyphen, we still get the same result. Collection IDs exist in a few different formats with different punctuation within our data sources, so it's important for researchers that all formats yield the same results.
Users can download a collections finding aid in one of two formats, either as an EAD XML file or as a PDF. A great deal of work has been gone into meeting accessibility requirements for PDFs, making them usable by screen readers and other assistive technologies. Improvements included adding alt text, adjusting headers and labels, restructuring tables, and other elements to ensure proper reading order. The team has made improvements for accessibility site-wide. The site is now WCAG level AA compliant, making it usable and understandable to both users with and without disabilities. Improvements include adjusting header ordering, font sizes, color contrast, and navigation elements. This compliance level was made possible by improvements made both to the site as well as upstream technologies, ArcLight and Blacklight. Work has been done to enable the requesting of a collections material via Aon, matching the functionality currently available in the Online Archive of California. This feature will not be available while the site is still under beta testing.
Ultimately, we want Stanford ArcLight to pull directly from archive space using the API tools they provide. To this end, we decided to put significant developer time toward analyzing differences between collections in the two data sources. For approximately 10,200 collections in archive space, we now have reporting on how they match or differ from our current collections in Online Archive of California. The reporting here gets pretty granular. We categorize each collection into different groups depending on their data issues and output them into detailed CSVs. In some cases, we also output analysis of each component in a collection. The purpose of these reports is to give insight into the quality and shape of our current data, to identify opportunities for bulk API-based data remediation, and to identify collections and types of collections that require manual attention from archivists. This could help estimate and scope future work for multiple teams in the libraries.
Thank you for watching our demo video of the public beta of archival collections at Stanford. We hope you'll try the new site and provide any feedback you might have.